All right, so today's video, we are watching a Diamond 4 tank on PS5 playing Domina. What makes this one a very interesting matchup is this is a 35-minute Circuit Royale on Domina. How? 35 minutes of Circuit Royale? I'm ready. And they say, hey, this is probably the longest match I've played in recent years. The enemy diva was a menace who pretty much obliterated my team. I considered switching to Zarya, but she's a hero I'm not too comfortable playing, so I stuck with Domina the whole game. Just to make it kind of clear here, I do think Domina's okay against Diva. If Diva's running into you, which if you're playing Diva, you probably shouldn't be. But in addition to the Diva, the enemy team also had a cat who made incredible plays, and it felt like I was pretty useless against their comp. As someone who mostly only plays Sigma as a tank, I struggle a lot against Doomfist Diva. When my team tells me to switch and I do, I end up struggling even more because I'm terrible with other tanks. I would like to know what I could have done better in this match, specifically during overtime, since it felt like I was just farming endless deaths and shooting at nothing. Since Domina is new, I'm sure there's a lot I can improve on, and I'd be grateful if you pointed it out. So enjoy. Half an hour of me hating Diva and Jetpack Cat. Wait a second. I played Diva and I had like cats. Wait a second. Let's see what happens, chat. This seems like it's going to be a good one. Holding here is fine. By the way, like a little bit of a note here. You can throw your shield out a little bit sooner because I want you to see something. Like if you're going to put your shield in front of their spawn like that, why wait till the last possible second when your shield's going to be on it? I guess like there's a timing on it, so I get it. But like I think like it's okay to, yeah, you know, in hindsight, I'm trying to think now because if you have a cooldown on your shield, you're trying to maximize the uptime of your shield here. But the way I envision it is put it up a couple seconds prior for this first team fight. You're going to lose a little bit of uptime on it, but I think like by the time they get to the corner, that's when you want your next shield. And I'm just trying to do the math in my head if they'll be there in time. I would say, yeah, I would say do it a couple seconds prior. It's not going to be up as long, but I do think you'll have it in time when you need it right now. See that 2 second difference? Yep, there it is. That's what I thought. I was like, is it about a 2 second difference? And it is. So that's a small note, and it's very niche. So don't worry about it if you don't do that. Backing up is the correct play on Circuit Royale, by the way. A lot of people are afraid to back up too early, and I want to talk about that very quickly on this one. A lot of people are afraid to back up too early here. It's totally okay. Believe it or not, and we haven't seen a lot of Circuit Royale in pro play recently because I don't think it was a part of the map pool during the boot camp they had. But like a lot of teams just give this up after a while because it's so much easier to just kind of hold this and like use cover all around you than it is to kind of sit here and everybody gets split. You know, one person up here, some person on the bridge here, and then they get caught out right here. So like you actually did an okay job of recognizing you were down one, and it's just better to back up a little bit. So don't be afraid to do that if you need to. I'm not saying give up space all the time, but if you lose a team fight, just get out of there and reset. I do think that's just something to kind of look at in those situations. Shield's fine. Everything's fine so far. I mean, yeah, you're doing everything you would probably want to here. Playing corners, backing up a little bit. Give it a second. There's your shield. See, like right there, you mentioned their Diva. The moment their Diva hits their flight, I kind of want you to go for the skill shot. So what that means is it's not even necessarily a skill shot, but you're using the AoE pushback in front of you. Once you hit the Diva there, the Diva's going to hit the wall as a stun and will lose the ability to fly at your team. So I'm already seeing that if you're going to miss out on that opportunity to shoot at the Diva, with that, I would actually try to use that and risk reward it, because if you hit that Diva here, they hit this wall, the Diva's stuck right here. Now you probably have a remech on the Diva, or at least the opportunity to I meant to demech the Diva, and whatever's happening back here won't happen now. Instead, the Diva is going to eventually kill the Widow. I assume they just got to turn around here. And you're going to lose your backline because of that. You talked about how you struggle against Diva. One thing that I would personally try to do is disrupt the Diva as much as you can. It doesn't mean chase the Diva around. It just means disrupt the Diva when they're in those type of situations. And I would be something I would just really look out for. I feel like you really gave that up right there. Like right here, why not play the corner? Like, you want to sit there and stay in the team fight, you're going to lose it, right? But I want to get you in the habit of defaulting to spots that aren't directly in the middle. I know it's a 1v5, right? Like, well, I don't know what's going on back here, but you do your thing. But play the corner. I want you to get in the habit of using cover. Like, this is a cover where you can actually give yourself maybe one extra team fight here. Maybe your teammates getting back in time. I've seen some crazy stuff. Now, granted, I don't think you're going to win that. Maybe you pick up a kill, and then things change, right? You have a cat. You get back to point quickly. Maybe you kill two and you get your ultimate. There's some crazy plays you can make there, and you're going to respawn anyway. Like back here, it's not about getting a good spawn. So either way, I just want you to make sure that you're putting yourself in a good spot consistently. Basically, don't stand in the middle. Okay, here we go. Yep, put your shield up. Now, you could turn and shoot at the D.Va now. It's not my favorite, but you could have done that. Either way, you demech the D.Va. You have no shield, so you got the... Wow. Man, you really... Wow, that was... There you go, like right there. See how you boop them away like that? Try to do that a little bit more towards walls, but that is the correct play. You have an ult now. It can be eaten by D.Va, just so you know. So be careful of throwing it into the D.Va. Okay, you tried it that time, so I'm glad to see your reaction is doing that now. Stop. Nope. At that point, the D.Va's in your backline. Put a shield up, please. Put a shield up, please. You need to put that shield up a little bit sooner because you're taking a little bit of extra chip damage that you don't want to take. The way that the Domina synergizes, so people understand this, is the E is a pretty quick cooldown that you could throw at them to give you some extra HP. So why put the pressure on your supports in that situation by risking it with that shield? So, yes, the primary fire does go through DM. Oh, no, not the... You're talking about, like, when you hold left click, it goes through DM. When you shoot the shot, the DM can eat it. But I would still shoot at the D.Va in certain situations. The biggest thing is recognizing when you can't turn around and you need to hold the front line. Thankfully, your teammate's doing well, so... You can put a shield right here for your Widow if you'd like. Just for a second. Mizuki can't reach that range. A little bit of a tip, if you want to know if you're in range of the Mizuki, just ping the Mizuki, and it will show how many meters away they are, and then you know what the range you can be to outrange them. It's one of the rare heroes where you can kind of do that consistently because the hero has a weird mid-range. Wow. What a play by the cat. The high noon, the meow noon. What is it being called nowadays? What is the new saying for it? I don't even know. Either way, great play. So far you're doing okay on Domina. I do feel like you're not recognizing the strength of your shield, and I want you to, again, there's a reaction here, and I'm going to be talking about this in a D.Va guide soon, about what D.Va is supposed to do. And like what's going to happen a lot of the time is the D.Va's going to fly right by you, right? D.Va's going to just like legitimately fly right by you, and you're not going to be able to do anything. So at a certain point, you just need to turn around and do the same thing to their backline, but not fly into them because you can't. And I want to continuously see what your reaction is to that D.Va, because if the D.Va's playing it correctly, again, and I'm going to talk about this in a future guide with D.Va, D.Va is not a hero that you play like Sigma or Zarya or Rein, etc. You have to be more backline pressure than you ever have been before with that character. Like, for example, don't be afraid to ult that. I know that seems like a tough ult, but you can probably get both of them in the air right there, and that would prevent some good play by your teammates, or good play by their team, excuse me. Like, that would basically prevent, like, some of the shots right there, because what people don't realize with that ultimate is that it will, that ultimate will also block their ability to do damage until that shield's off. There you go. Good job knocking the D.Va back. But again, doesn't it kind of feel like you waited forever to use this ultimate to end up in the same play? You want to shield out now, doesn't matter where they're at. Now group the D.Va towards your team. There you go. Back away, though. Back away now. Back away. Back left corner. Back left. Okay. So this is the problem. When you're playing tank, right, you did everything right that you could have up until that moment. I thought you did an excellent job here, right? I feel like you, seriously did a great job here with backing up. And then once you got here, rather than back up just an extra few feet to reset your cooldowns, you just stand here. And this is like the make or break between you winning a team fight and losing a team fight. And I feel like these are the plays that are going to really... People always ask, okay, how do I back up? How do I go to cover? Like, what is the idea behind it? You got here. This was perfect. I'm like, dude, you're good. You're fine now. You're going to back up all the way. And then you just go here, and then you're fine. And then what you do is, what is your cooldown? You're 6 seconds on your shield, so you sit here. If they over push, you get a kill. And then 3 seconds later, you're just going to throw a shield out, and then you're right here. Everybody's safe, and you're fine. Instead, now your team's down their tank, and they're going to have to make a play off of that. So, yeah. Back to we'll see what happens now. Does your team hold this? Does the D.Va get into your backline? What happens? The D.Va gets in your backline. Now imagine if you go back and survive with your team. Now you demech that D.Va who just recently used ultimate, and you basically win the whole team fight. Instead, you give up second point for free, and here we are going into the third. So little moves like that and plays like that can make or break team fights. All right? Just want to point that part out. Ideally, you're going to want to get up further to the corner, but don't force the play here, because if you force the play, you're going to end up falling over. Right? And that's almost happened. Do you notice how you almost fell over? Okay, so let me kind of explain this very quickly, because I think everybody wants to rush to their spots to take map control. I'm going to kind of show you a way that, here's the thing. You're not going to be able to get to them here, right? You're not able to get to them here. So why go up here and just basically take a bunch of damage? So what usually happens in this situation is you actually give them this half of the map temporarily. Keep in mind, the idea is that you're giving them this part of the map to eventually take it back. but you can't forcibly go take the map back because you don't have the mobility on Domina, right? And it's not like with Sigma, because you say you play a lot of Sigma where you can kind of move forward with your shield. You're kind of like a statue for a little bit on Domina here. So what you would do is you have your teammates control this part of the map right here, right? You're going to deny this space. If your teammates don't see anybody here, eventually you can have somebody wrap around here. This is recommended for DPS players. If you find that no one's up here, don't just stand here the whole time. I find that if you can get somebody over here, you get a lot of free kills, hence this. And this is kind of where things turn around. I've lost a lot of team fights where we don't control this part of the map as a team, and we lose because of this part of the map. So while they're just getting set up here and you can't get to them, right? Look at your ultimates. You don't really have much for you specifically. You're going to have to wait on like a meow noon to make a play here, right? So just control this part of the map. Once they get to here, they're going to be stuck. So then once the cart gets to here, they are now stuck. They have to make a decision. So I'm just saying, don't go up there and just feed and give up a bunch of cooldowns just to try to retake that early, because that's how you just get snowballed and lose this point. I know it's a little bit more advanced than we usually go on some of these maps, but time and time again, including myself, I've made this mistake of just trying to get that map control early when it's okay to just kind of sit back and wait, control half the map, and then retake your space. So now your team's on their back foot. You're getting snowballed. And we'll see what happens next. Casket's a good pick, though. Is he calling it meow noon now? Whatever people want to call it, go for it. Okay, you saw D.Va go right side, so you want to shield up now. I think something you're doing, and I want to point out to you, something that you're doing is you're trying to manage your shield cooldown as much as you possibly can. And I get it, right? But at a certain point, you need to recognize that you don't have the map space or control to just leave your teammates susceptible, right? Because your teammates are kind of relying on that shield. So waiting as long as possible puts a lot of pressure on them. Also, I like what I'm seeing from this Reaper. Let's see if it works. But you just got to remember that when you're playing is your teammates also require that shield. So, you know, yeah, good luck. That's called you got lost, know your escapes. I mean, that's on you again, straight up. Chat, has anybody tested this with Domina? Okay, I have a question. Has anybody tested this with Domina? If a D.Va ults and I ult one of their teammates right near me, could I hide behind the ultimate to survive? Do you get what I'm saying? So like, if I use Domina ultimate and then it puts a shield around them, can I hide behind the Domina shield on the ultimate to be able to survive a D.Va ult? Apparently the ult can target D.Va bomb. Can it? Oh, then so then you would just survive that, right? Can you just ult the D.Va bomb then? Because if you can ult the D.Va ult, then just ult the D.Va ult and you survive that. And then you don't get snowballed. So if you can ult the D.Va ult, then just throw the ult at it and then you're good. Then you survive that and then you're fine. There you go. If that's an interaction, which I can just test it after, you have to target D.Va bomb before bomb. Oh, okay. But still then, like, wouldn't it make sense to yeah, there is a little bit of risk there because the D.Va could eat it in theory, so there's a little bit of timing. Okay, it's a play you could make, but you have to make sure you understand that it could be eaten. But yeah, I would say send the ult there because I'm looking at like look at the clock, look at where the card is. There's no reason to hold. And I'm pretty curious if there was somebody else in their team, you could ult them and stand behind them too. So there's definitely ways to survive that I wouldn't even think of in real time right now, but I want to get like in the mindset of everybody learning Domina because I think that'd be a really cool tech to get used to. At least in my opinion. You gotta ult it sooner than later, yeah. I mean, I would have ulted that even sooner. I feel like you gave too much time. Right now, it feels like you're too safe with your cooldowns. Like, I actually think that you're extremely too safe with your cooldowns right now. You need to start using those a little bit more frequently. I get what you're trying to do. Because, like, you know, cooldown management is key. I feel like you're over-managing your cooldowns right now. And that's kind of causing you to lose team fights that you shouldn't lose. Or team fights that should be at least a little bit more difficult for the other team. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from all of this, is that you could do a better job of that. Let's do this.
I am advancing the payload. What's about
I'm okay with an early shield out of you. Ready, set. Now, chat, if you want to give yourself an easy timing for the shield, by the way, look down at the bottom. Once you start seeing the shield at like 7 seconds on the cooldown timer, maybe 8 seconds, start to look for cover. Because if I recall correctly, the shield, does F1 work in this? It does not. I think the shield lasts like 8 seconds or something. So look around the 7-second mark and you'll start to see it taper off at that point. So like, if you use the cooldown here, right? There you go. Now watch the bottom timer. I think around 7 seconds, I would start backing up from your shield if you need to for cover. There's a 7-second mark, and then now it should go away. See? Really easy to do that. if you want to play it safe, do 8 seconds so you can start to establish position in. You can see the timer above the crosshair. That is true. But I sometimes use it elsewhere, so good call. Crosshair does exist there too. See, I guess I just absorb my information elsewhere sometimes. Yeah, the little, I see above. Yeah. I get that now. Flip of advice here. Look at that little bar above. Even better advice. I'd never even look at that. That shows you how, like, how long I played Overwatch for, where I just, like, always consume my information from the cooldowns before they started to make some of those, like, changes. Good to know. I will remind myself of that. See, this is a good learning point for me. Okay, here we go. You're doing everything fine here. I would say try to get an E up there the moment the diva goes down. There you go. That's fine. Even that works. I just want you to kind of isolate. Okay. I want you to shield. You can... Yeah, there you go. You can also kind of... You can use your AoE move there on the cat if you wanted to. Okay. There it is. Getting the kills. Just go in the car. They're going to leave it. Okay. I mean, pretty clean first point. You didn't really have to do much, which is nice. When you get that ult, what is the 0 out of 25 thing? There's a new sub-roll passive. I forgot which heroes have it. Where basically you get 25% extra ult charge after you get your ult to max. It's basically just overcharge. So when you finish your ultimate, you'll get whatever that percentage is. Say it's at 8 out of 25, you'll get 8% ult charge. It's just a way, and to kind of give you an idea, I think the reason why they added that one is because there's a few supports that can't really play the game with their ultimates, right? Like how some ultimates are proactive and some ultimates are defensive. So I think they wanted to give you a way of the heroes that are known to have to hold their ults longer, just kind of giving you a little bit more opportunity to build some ult charge and feel like you're doing something, right? Kind of, yeah, you said like Zen, Lucio, Ana, Bap, etc. All those heroes require like kind of like teamwork timing. So it's just kind of, I think, a way to like incentivize those team fights where you're stuck just doing that. Because like you have to hold your ult for so long. I will say their diva is playing diva the way you're supposed to in these situations, by the way, chat. It's something that I think a lot of people returning to the game have not... it's going to take a little bit to understand what diva's like now. Like, diva's no longer the peel tank. Diva can peel, but diva's just a backline assassin now. And that's why, like, in this situation, like, if you wanted to talk about what to do there, you can't turn around once diva's doing that. You need to go and make those same trades forward. So, if the diva's leaving them susceptible that way, which the diva is supposed to do, this is your opportunity to go take map control. I felt like you were getting distracted by that diva too much. And that was a problem. Again, I think you're being safe again with your ults, too. Nova, thanks for the gift. This up. Thank you, Bridget. Like you save your ultimate for so long, and then you do that ultimate. Like, you're basically saying to the other team, hey, what can I do to help make this easier for you? Let's do that. Like, I think you would have launched that ult a little bit sooner. You get kills anyway, and you're fine. But you waited for their whole team to get back to help. But you did a good job surviving. Your teammates did a good job surviving the backline pressure. And I think the number one thing out of you right now is you're so hesitant on hitting your buttons. You're so hesitant. Okay. Now you're waiting. You have two options here. Like, you could go take the high ground top right. Remember how I talked about controlling the map? I would be okay if you did, but I also understand if you don't. And as you can see, remember earlier I mentioned some of the pathways you want to take as a team? Look what's happened. Your teammates, they did exactly what we were talking about. I also love this jetpack cat. Look at him, just kind of vibing. Look at her, just chilling. But anyway, like, if you look here, they're taking away the high ground control that we mentioned earlier, and you're stuck down here. So it's a very interesting approach on how this is going. But basically, they did exactly what I was saying earlier of controlling that side of the map. And I think it's actually worked for them. Remember, you can throw the charge at them. It's going to disconnect, though. You wonder why that you have to maneuver the jetpack cat stuff around perfectly. You can't just, like, run into a wall. So... What's I saying? I've never really seen blood splatter like that in Overwatch. I think it might be something tied to Emre, like his... It must be something with Emre's lore. Did it snowing like crazy where you're at? Same. I mean, I'm currently running on a generator right now. I technically don't even have power. Just the generator's carrying. Good stick, good Mizuki play. You can get up here. I want you to be aggressive with this ultimate, because if you're not aggressive here, you're going to eventually give them a chance. Like, just make their team think about, like, okay, like, okay, get out of the ult. Remember, like, You're gonna win this team fight, I think, but yeah, already you're just so hesitant. I want to, next time you play, I want you to like almost go the limit of your cooldown usage, because I feel like you're just too safe sometimes. I've seen so many ult opportunities, we just have to send it. So let's go. Oh, Overwatch has always had it, but you barely see with how fast-paced it is. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay, here we go. All right, only 20 minutes left of this VOD chat, so we're really making progress, okay? Really making some progress right now, I'd say. Can D.Va eat Domina's ult? Yes. But you still need to be more aggressive with it. It doesn't, even if D.Va can eat it, you can't play the whole game scared of that, right? Like, if I'm playing D.Va and someone's afraid to use their Domina ult or their Zarya ult because I'm just there, then I've already won. Yeah, you know, I've taken away so much of their value. Mizuki with a good play. Like, right there, I'm sending that AoE pushback. Keep in mind, it has a short range. I think it's like 8 meters, so understand what 8 meters is. I think I wasted it a few times when I first played Domina. Okay. Yep. JT, thanks for the 15 months of the tier 1. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you, JT. Here you are. Okay. Good job. Use the AoE. Again, here's the thing. Here's what's happening, and I'm noticing it. You understand you have to use it, but you take your time, right? And just send it. Like, just hit that button again next time. Because that D.Va would have been D-Max even prior. I think, like, there's a world where you could shut down this D.Va way more than you are, and you're just not. The D.Va's not making it pretty hidden on what their play is, so. Take the TP, 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 take the TP. I want you to take that TP and put a shield. Okay, so one way to get early map control, at least in my opinion, is just to take that TP up there and just start getting any limbs you can. The map control is created for you. Take that map control. You don't need 3 on cart to be able to take this, but one thing you can do is shut down their rotation on the next part. So I'm going to take that TP next time. I have a shield, and then you're going to get a free kill on a Widow. You're going to maybe get a jetpack cat. The point I'm making is they're not going to put any pressure on your team because they're going to be worried about you here. But not taking that TP now gives them an opening, right? Maybe they won't take it, but they have a chance now. And that part could have been prevented. Even the chance of you just going up there and doing that play. Thankfully, they end up going in and feeding anyway. But I would have liked to see that play happen. If spaces get, like, you know, created with a TP, you take that space. So. There's a TP again. You could take that up there right now. You could take that up there right now. Okay, never mind. Okay, there's your shield. First shield in a while. I think you could have had one more shield rotation during that. Okay, now you have your ultimate. So what you're going to do is you're going to use this ultimate in a proactive way, which means be aggressive with it. Ready? Get up there and don't give him a chance. Let's Domina ult this. Let's go. Let's hit that Domina ult. Yeah, right now. This is it. This is your moment. They've used it. There it is. No. Go forward with it. Use your ult. It's right there. Oh, man. So here's the thing. You use your ult, but do you see how you're so delayed in the timing? Like, you would have had 4 in that if you used that right when I was calling it. Again, I think your hesitation's really hecking up your play right now. I think you're just so hesitant on your ability usage. Like, right there. That D.Va should never die to the Widow should never die to the D.Va. Why? Because you could have prevented the D.Va from doing that by just slamming them back. Aim that towards the wall against the Torb. I know you're going to somehow win this, which is the crazy part. Okay, ready? Slam them against the wall. Okay. Nope, now you're button mashing. You gotta slow everything down. In these situations, okay, the easiest way to win an overtime fight is to slow everything down. I feel like when the overtime, like, number hits, everybody starts to panic a little bit. It's like, oh, what do I do? Where do I go? What do I do? What's my play? What am I gonna do? Stop doing that part of it, okay? Stop doing that part of it. Just slow things down. Take your time. That is how you're going to win a team fight. You got to slow it down, though, okay? Right there, you hit a bunch of buttons, and the buttons certainly were there. That was a remake double kill, yes, because they both hit behind the wall. Like, you mash your buttons. Thankfully, your teammates get back in time, but that's not always going to happen. So, using maximum efficiency and ability usage, true. Now, I understand if you're afraid to get off cart, right? Now I understand. Like, beforehand, you still had about 30 seconds when I was starting to call for stuff. Now I can understand if you want to be a statue. Straight up. You can be a statue right now if you would like to be. Now you can control a corner with just that AoE. It's a short cooldown, right? Like it's on the super long, like longest cooldown. Yep, remember there's people in front of you. That diva. There you go. Also try to aim towards walls, by the way. Because if you aim towards walls, that's going to give you the stun effect. Very much like Doomfist does. Okay? Right there, you kind of got rolled, but like that was kind of a team effort roll. Somehow this is still going. That's a really well-timed Mizuki ultimate. I love this that we have a front row seat in overtime. Okay, I think your teammates are getting it.
Reality bends to my
Why do the two supports and the other team have the same name? Because you can have the same name as people in Overwatch. Yep, there's no like, it just adds extra number. It just adds numbers at the end of your name. Dude, your team clutched that. I feel like the other team should have won. So speaking of target focus and patience, damn. Their team hecked that one up a little bit. Okay. You're going to be the one to tank this. Go in front of the cart. Yep. I want to kind of talk about this because I think that sometimes people will go all over the place with the cart. If you're the tank there, I want you to go in front to lead. So this is what I do, and it usually works when a Bastion has ultimate towards the end. I want you to move forward in front of the cart, so that way as the cart's pushing up with you, they're either forced to ult just you, or they ult backwards and your teammates have a safe spot to go into. Does that make sense? So like in this overtime situation, the cart's going to keep pushing forward, and you're going to stick with it, so you go in front of it, which is going to force the ultimate forward, and then your teammates have two safety nets. They can back all the way up, or they can move to your part of the map. And if they put the ultimate in front also, like kind of like in like a one at a time forward, you'll still survive that because now you can back up. So you see what I'm saying? How like it just kind of gives you an easy entry point for your teammates to escape. It's not always going to work that way, but it's a good thing to keep in mind. Pop your ult immediately. Pop your ult. Pop. Yep. I honestly, ult in the Bastion is fine because the Bastion is going to be the one that gets the most effectiveness. There you go. Just keep shooting at the Diva. Keep pressuring Diva. There you go. AoE the point, which is the E or whatever. Sorry, I keep saying E. I know you're on console, so whatever the thing that when you snap your finger. That ability, whatever it's called, the crystal one. There you go. So, again, you're running into the same issues. You play actually too safe at times, and I think that's easily fixable. So that's the good news. It's very fixable, at least in my opinion. Now you're on defense. Let's see how your defense goes. Holy crap, dude. What a game this is. You said the right bumper's E? Okay, yeah, there you go. Whatever the button is, people in the comments can always do that too, you know. This time you chose no shield. I'm okay with that. I mean, as long as you're not pushing there, I'm okay with no shield at the beginning. That's totally fine. Now you have it for this cooldown. I would put the shield up soon. Right now. So, right now. Yes. Now, I want to point something out here because there's a little bit of... this is what I would have done personally. I would have put the shield actually like right here. Because what would have happened is the Diva still would have been out of position and no one here can follow up, and it gives you the opportunity to push up and create space. See what I'm saying? So like I would have actually put it here, and you have cover right here at this doorway, and by the like this doorway's cover, and by the time that like your next shield is up, all your cooldowns should be up, and you can just back away and do the same thing. See, because you have cover from here to here, and then you can shield out that way. So I would have actually put it up a little bit further. It just gives you a little bit more wiggle room and denies their space for a little bit longer. All right, Reaper behind you. Yep. Don't be distracted by the Reaper too much. Prevent that Diva. Look what you did to that Diva's HP right away, by the way. By just doing that early pressure. No. Stop worrying about the Diva. At a certain point, you have to recognize that you cannot help with that Diva, and the best thing you can do is control the front line. Or their back line, that is. You can go up there now. They're down 2. See, like, you can tell there's a lot of, like, difference of how you have to play over time, but if they're down multiple right there, you go get that Diva, right? It's when the Diva goes in a 5v5 situation that you need to be that stalwart, right at the front of the line, like, making sure they're not going anywhere. Shield down, but to the left is that Reaper. You knew the Reaper was there last time, but I will give you a little bit of wiggle room on that one. As in, like, you were putting the pressure forward. You did push up a little bit further, but I think that just ended up being a good play by Reaper. I think there's a chance I even go down to the Reaper there because I'm just feeling the... And I'm just being aggressive and it's working, right? So, anyway. We'll see.
Behind me now.
Here it is. Okay, just wait. Also, a little bit of a note here. You don't have to rush to the point either. You now have the opportunity to... Okay. and your teammate went and fed here. One thing I want to reiterate in these type of situations is that you don't have to run to the point now. What is going to be the point? If you win the team fight, you win the team fight. The game's over, right? So like your teammates going to the cart there, it doesn't make any sense. You take a good team fight. It's already 6-3, right? You don't need to go fight for the point at this point because once the team fight's won, the game's over. That's it. The game is over. So now what your teammate did, and this is a reminder to everybody who returned to Overwatch or didn't know this. There's overtime spawns. So the reason why overtimes get a little bit wonkier and you find that you can make these really cool comebacks is because there's technically a comeback mechanic. And that mechanic is you have longer spawns if you win. There's longer spawns. Straight up. That's it. That's the comeback mechanic. So with the longer spawns, there's less team fights per point, which means there's a reason why. You've ever been in a game where like the team with 4 minutes loses to the team with 1 minute? It's because the team with 1 minute actually has the overtime spawns, which can minimize one team fight per point, which means that they can push the cart really far. But then when you have your 4-minute clock, you don't have those overtime spawns, so there's one extra team fight. Do you get what I'm saying? So basically, for anybody here, it's okay to give up the point when you have a lead like this. Win the team fight, don't feed. Anytime you give up these free team fights, that's how you give up this point. Okay? That's how you give up this point. Your team staggers, and now look at these spawns. You're waiting forever, right? You're waiting forever. The next team fight won't even happen till the middle of the point where you would normally have it happen right where that Juno is. Even when, and they put 1 on card. Keep in mind, if they had 3, it'd be way further up. So now it's 1 team fight per second. Yeah, that's just a good play. That's just sick. I got nothing for you on that one. Good play. That's it. That's all I got. That was just a good play. I'm not even mad. Sometimes you just got to nod your head and go, that was just a good play. I don't even got anything. Yeah, that's good. You're probably even typing that right now like, good play. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing. That's just a good diva ult play. Go forward, go forward, go forward, go forward. Run forward, run forward. Go, 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 go. Oh, come on, team, everybody. This is why you don't even need your Mizuki there. So once the diva's behind, it's a 4v4 on cart. Dude, I want you, Chad, I want you to like take the information you're given sometimes because there's a free path to possibly win this game, and it's right in front of us. So up top, there's a number. That number shows you how many are on the cart, right? My vision of this is what I see. We saw a Reaper, there's a diva behind, which means now there's only 3 on cart maximum. But I'm looking up top, means there's 1 person on cart, which means that right now, if your teammates get to the point immediately with a beat, you win the game. They will not be able to come back and save your team. They have no ultimates. There's nothing that would make me like say, don't do this play. There's technically 2 on cart. I guess Juno doesn't count, which is random. Do you think if your team TPs, pops beat, and runs to the cart right now, these 2 players right now will win? Do you think that a Juno and a Widow can win this right now? If your team, actually, I'll even one up this to make it even easier. Simwall TP beat Mizuki, everything at once on the cart right now. The game's over. They will not be able to come back and save them. They have no ultimates. The diva's just out of range. You have all this play. You should not lose this team fight at all. Like there's an opportunity here. Pay attention to that number up top. I've won many games where I see that as diva or like as any type of tank. I see there's 1 on there and I just book it. And I know that I basically just need to win the duel and that I have time to work with because they're kind of all over the map. Now, I'm not saying if there's 1 person there to just run it down mid, but you have the tools and the utility right now to go win this play. I'm just saying. We'll see what your team does, what your reaction is. But on paper, you should not lose this team fight. You're here. Okay. Now you just need a TP. That's it. Or a beat. Ready? Go. Go. All right, let's head over there to that point now. Everybody's here. You don't want to give them any space. Everybody's here. The longer you give them time to get a pick, though, the worse it gets. Look at the cart. There's a Widow. It's just a Widow and a Juno. Please. Oh, please. You're going to win this. Just run at the Widow. You can push the Widow. You win right here, right? Right? Target focus. Be patient. It's free kills. Target focus. Yep, and there you go. And then your Lucio came back and popped beat in the cart after. Do you see how all of this would have been solved by a TP alt stack play and you would have won? Instead, your teammates took the... This is what I was kind of talking about. You cannot slow the gameplay down like you did right there. Oh, you have a Zarya swap at the end here. I was going to pause. The only thing... Okay, let me kind of give you an idea here. And this is why tracking ultimates can also be important, okay? Keep in mind, tracking ultimates does not mean being 100% accurate. It means being like 80%, like you're close to the ult track. If you know they popped a bunch of ults, you already saw Reaper ult, you already saw their support ultimates, you saw the Diva ult combo, that's everything. Everything's out of the picture right now, okay? Why are you slowing the team fight down? Because the only way that I get back into those games is when they slow things down. Do you understand what I'm saying? So like, if you slow a team fight down, the only team that wants this team fight to slow down is the attacking team, to give them time to build ults and get picks. You're not trying to get picks. That's why I was being so adamant about, you have the blueprint right here. You TP, you pop beat, you pop every single ultimate, and the game is over. Instead, you just give up a team fight, you use all your ultimates, and now I know why the game went to 35 minutes. Because this game should have ended right when they did that Diva ult play. That was it. They had nothing left. Unless they got a random pick, which they didn't even do that. Anyway, that was a team effort loss right there, by the way. Team effort loss. And again, just to go back to something that you need to work on, your patience in those really intense team fights, you just need to slow it down. You're getting too like, oh no, I need to kill 5 people at once. Well, if you don't kill one of them, it's not going to matter about the other 4. Now your team's doing what, this is the reason why I have a bingo card slot that says everybody runs it down mid to an overtime. You had a whole retake here. Why run it down mid again? Now you need to slow it down. Give your teammates time. It was misplayed across the board here, and I think when you watch this back, you'll start to understand that I'm seeing a lot of hesitation out of you, and it's so fixable. It is so fixable. The good news is if your number 1 issue is that hesitation, that you'll fix that in no time. You might feed your cooldowns a little bit, but then that's where you have to find the middle ground. Some way I've always described it, and this is something that is described in sports sometimes, is you're playing not to lose instead of playing to win. And when you play not to lose, you end up playing way too safe, and that's how you lose games, right? But when you play to win, yes, there's a little bit more risk, but you're more likely to win more when you're the one playing to win and the other team's playing not to lose. So anyway, I hope that's kind of like a helpful note for you. Let's see how your attack goes. I mean, yeah, tunnel vision exists there too, yep. But it just, they're starting to panic in those long team fights. Anyway, let's see what happens on your attack here. Let's go. You can lose by playing too aggressive, but like playing to win is not to kind of pause here. Playing to win does not mean playing aggressive, right? Playing to win is using your cooldowns more. You know, yeah, taking map control, right? That's it. You're not running at the cart, you're taking map control. So like playing to win doesn't necessarily mean you just run it down mid to the cart and that's it, you're playing to win. It's about recognizing taking 5 extra seconds to establish your teammates to a better spot. 3 extra seconds to come up with a plan. Things like that. Like you're playing to win, but you have purpose to that victory. You have a reason, a game plan. When you play not to lose, you just kind of don't do anything. You're just kind of hoping they make a mistake, and that's how teams lose. You see it in sports all the time where, like, I can give you like let me give you a basketball reference. Your team's up 15 with 5 minutes left in the 4th, and rather than continuing to play the way that they did to win, they just start dribbling the ball till 22 seconds, shooting up a contested 3, and the next thing you know, there's a minute left and you're down by 2. Because you spent the whole time just dribbling the ball out rather than just going to play to win. Now, the odds say you're going to win those games, but that's how those comebacks happen, is when those teams start to just okay, we got here by driving the lane and throwing a ball out for a wide open 3, right? We're winning that way. But then you stop doing that and you just dribbling the ball at like the half court, and then you're taking contested 3s, and then next thing you know, it's a close game and you lose that game or it becomes way too close. Anyway, I just want to point that out. I also am a Celtics fan, so early, not the current Celtics, but a few years ago before they won a championship, that's what they did all the time. 4th quarter hits, let's dribble the ball. So I had to bring that one there. Anyway, it's the same thing with like zone defenses and like the NFL, prevent defenses, things like that. So continue on. Oh, I know all the sports, right? So here we go. Up we go. Okay, so you lose your Moira. Keep in mind, that means you're gonna have to play a little bit safer. So let's talk about like kind of the vision of what I'm looking for here, chat, right? And I think a lot of people want to know, what do you do in this situation? You're down a Moira. You can't get out, right? There's just no way you can get out. So what I would say is this: go to the stairs. You have free cover here, and you go, why the stairs? Like, what is this gonna do? Well, if the Diva over pushes you, the Diva's now out of line of sight. So the idea behind this part is they now have to worry about this angle, okay? Apparently your Sim's having a blast. But you have to worry about this angle. So if you get here, the Diva feels obligated to either push you or back up. If they go to your back line, now you have the ability to actually see that and then push up here again and take map control. But if you just stand here in the middle of the open and do nothing, you're gonna get nothing done, right? You're just gonna get nothing done and you're gonna end up in the same spot. So let's see what your reaction is. You should be taking the left stairs up for a second. Okay, this can work too. because they all fell back randomly when your Symmetra went up there. But now you're losing contain. This is why I wanted you to take the bridge. Thankfully, it seems to be working out for you, but like, look what's happening. It's a lot closer than it should be, right? So the simple play of just walking up those stairs and then going across that little bridge there, you're still alive in this team fight. Instead, you go the more safer, oh, I don't know where I want to go route, and they get you, and it becomes a risky team fight again. Yes, you win, but do you see why the simple 2-second difference of going up those stairs, that's a play-to-win situation, okay? And this comes from experience. I've had many moments where I go, crap, I didn't take the space I should have taken. Like, oh, man, that's on me. Like, because sometimes you play a little bit too safe, but that's why we're reminding you that there's a lot of opportunity here to just win this game for your team. And I've seen you kind of give up that opportunity a few times. All right. I want you to shield up somewhat early here. Okay, well, good luck to whoever got taken there. Your Moira did. That's a surprising take. If your Moira dies there, it's not your Moira's fault. I just want to point that out, chat. That was not the Moira got pulled into the team. Okay, good job here. Shield up immediately. I want you to shield. There you go. And the reason why you want to shield up immediately, chat, is you're down one still, so you need to give your teammates time to just like feel like there's a safety net. Now you have a basically defense matrix. For anybody wondering with Mizuki Ultimate, just think of it as defense matrix for D.Va in a giant circle. If you're inside of it, you can get shot at. Most people won't push into it. Obviously, there's communication levels where you can. Outside of that, to the number one question people will have, can you survive a D.Va ult? Well, I would say you could try. It's not going to go well, to answer your question. Yes, the D.Va ult will kill your team no matter where you are. One note I did learn, though, is it can technically line of sight Sigma Ultimate. That's a helpful tip for anybody. I did have a Sigma Ultimate ruined by that. So a little bit of a note here, just to look out for that if you can. But yes, so there you go. You can heck up a Sigma Ultimate with, is what I'm saying. It happened to me. I was so confused. Do beams go through? Yes, you can. As Domina, you can attack through that. So now, obviously, there's a Widow hitting shots. I think this is still winnable if you use your ultimate correctly. I want you to really, the moment they're in front of you, I want you to like launch this out. Don't even hesitate. You notice how your Mei had that? Okay, look what your Mei did. Okay, here's the difference between playing to win and playing not to lose. Okay, your Mei goes, we're in an overtime fight. I can't lose this team fight. Let me pop my ultimate. Does it get anybody? Does it get anybody? Sure doesn't. But what does it do? It backs him up. It makes him have to go back for a play. Also, I hate to break it to you, you better have a shield ready because you're about to get absolutely annihilated by an ult here. But instead of you making the play, your Mei does it. Now you still have the opportunity, but you got to make this play immediately. I want to see this ult now. Okay, you can shield this. They hacked it up. Well, let's talk about this very quickly. One, I thought that was going to save you too. Number two, there's the difference right there. A team that played to win versus a team that played not to lose. Who won the team fight? The people who made the play. All of that could have been solved if you popped your ultimate when they were all in front of you because you would have had the cat. You probably killed a jetpack cat and you win the whole team fight. Instead, because you play not to lose, your team loses the team fight and they're the playmakers. You see the difference there? That's why I know I've been very adamant about that to you, about how like you're so hesitant on plays, but I really think that's the difference. It's not a mechanics issue, right? Like, you're fine. Your mechanics are fine. You know, obviously, a missed shot here or there, like, that happens, but look what's going on right now. Like, you're losing team fights because you're just not willing to make that extra step to make a play. And that's going to be the make or break. What rank is this diamond? All right, let's see what happens next, Jack. Can they hold this and win the game, or will they end up losing it after this long 35-minute game? Let's find out, because there is a stopping point to it.
3, 2, power at my fingertips. Watch for that sniper.
All right, here we go. I would shield this corner now, because I think the sniper can take away too much map control. So I would remember the left side Reaper, though. This happened to you last time. Okay, I got no idea what your Moira is doing there, so that's on your Moira. There you go, nice. You have sight of the Reaper now, so I want you to keep that in mind the rest of this round. Shield up, shield up, shield up, shield up. Shield up, shield up, shield up, shield up. Again, you just gave up, what, 40% baby D.Va charge to that D.Va by not shielding up right away. I know this doesn't seem like a lot, but in this type of game, those extra few seconds can make or break. Right? Also, a little bit of a tip here, and this could be helpful for players. If you're the D.Va in that situation, just ask your jetpack cat to fly you back to spawn and swap heroes very quickly. This is a very old tip, but some players still don't utilize it. If you're at the beginning of a game and you're not giving up too much diva ult charge, like say you're not at 80%, you're at like 20, just have your jetpack cat fly you back to spawn very quickly, and then just like switch to like, you know, roadhog, and then switch back to diva. You'll get your suit back, and you'll, you know, at the very least, if you had 15% ult charge, you'll get 15% back. So rather than waste your time trying to get your suit back very early in a game, you know, if you have a jetpack cat, don't be afraid to have them fly you back to spawn, swap to another hero, and then swap right back. And then you have your suit back, and you basically didn't waste any time. Outside of that, like, few seconds you did that. Yeah, I always try to give some good feedback on this. Did your sweat, is it warm there? Yeah, we have more storms coming this week, too. Yeah. Push him back into the May wall, remember that. Like right there, I see you missing out on an opportunity to demech this diva sooner. You actually opted to not do that. Don't. Okay, let me get this straight. This whole game, you have been so hesitant the whole time to hit your buttons. Finally, when you need to save your ultimate, you launch your ult. You just gotta clean this up. I'm just telling you, like, that has been the difference. Like right there, the reason why you save your ultimate in that situation is because you're down 3, which means that you have another team fight. Oh, good luck. Well, they didn't get anybody. Like, that's it. So you just gotta, your decision making has been a huge part of this. To your left, there was some, yep, I was gonna say that was a free kill if you saw him. See ya. Tunnel vision. You still have time. Your team, I'm gonna be honest with you, if your team loses this, it's because your team does not know how to play in overtime. Straight up. Did they ever consider doing a K-pop Demon Hunters collab? Oh yeah, I mean, oh yeah, I'm sure one of the people at Blizzard's a huge K-pop fan, and I know he would love to have. Yeah, I'm sure they're already working on it, if they can. Okay, get aggressive, get aggressive, get aggressive, get up there, get up there, get up there, just run at them, be a distraction, go to their back line, don't play it safe, run up there, put a shield, anything, help your teammate. Go forward. Okay, we got to talk about this. You don't want to back up in these situations because if you go forward, that's how you're going to control the space. You're not, at this point in the game, you need to recognize, okay, you're no longer sitting here playing this safe. You need to go up here. This was your opportunity. You have to go in front of your teammate. If you do that, you get a kill on Juno. Your May gets more value. Your Sim can find a good opportunity to the wall. But if you just stand there like a statue, which again, a lot of Domina's gameplay will be statue gameplay because of how you play, just very much like Sigma. But it is overtime in a 7-7 game. You get up to that cart in front of your team and you win the team fight. You take this game and you go, hey, sorry y'all had to wait 35 minutes for us to win this game. That's how you take the game. But if you sit here, it gets a lot riskier. We'll see what can happen though. There's the sim wall. That's certainly a sim wall that does not hurt their team for now. It kind of does, but it's like not the worst. Shield up in front. Nope, not behind the sim wall. Okay, I guess it's fine because of timing. Okay, ready? Keep going. Yeah, keep going. Keep up there. Run forward. Go forward. Forward. Go. Keep going up. Keep going forward. Go forward to the other side of the. Okay. Anyway, you did win the team fight, so that's the good news. So good job. But listen, you have a hesitation problem in Overwatch right now that is easily fixable. And I want you to remember this when I'm sitting here telling you to go forward in those situations. The reason why you go forward in those situations is to take the space away from their team. If you let them stay behind the cart, you're giving them free cover, right? Your teammates are the ones that pushed up and got the kills. But if you're saying, hey, I'm gonna let you have this free cover, and that's what you're gonna do, you'll lose those games. So the number one thing to work on going forward is that hesitation. Because if you fix that hesitation, this game was over at like 5-4 or something ridiculous, or 6-3. No, sorry, 6-5 actually. Because remember that moment where you had all the ultimates, you didn't win? Hesitation is what will lose games for you. And that's what's gonna lose games in general because, again, going back to that analogy of playing not to lose instead of playing to win is gonna lose you more games than you think. So more cooldown usage, less hesitation, more safe aggression. Remember, cover to cover. That's where you want to go, like from one set of cover to the next, and you're going to win more games. Mechanics were fine. You seem to be able to aim on them for the most part. Take advantage of your abilities. There's a diva in front of you near a wall. Hit that button to slam that diva against the wall. Now that diva is going to lose half their HP. But do not sit there and be so hesitant because you're going to lose game after game after game and wonder why. Because the mechanics that you're seeing are aligning, right? You're seeing yourself hit shots. So you're going, oh, my shots are hitting. I don't know what's wrong. But there's more to Overwatch than just hitting your shots. It's the rest of the game, because at a certain point, as you climb, everybody's hitting their shots. It's what you do next that wins you those games. So less hesitation, more aggression, more ability usage, take that map control, learn how to take space, and you're gonna win games. I'm telling you, you're gonna skyrocket from there. You got this. You absolutely got this. If you like the video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't, leave a comment. All of that helps. If you wanna submit your own, my Discord is where to do that. Pretty much anything you submit in my Discord. And with that being said, wait, before that, if you want to watch more of these, you're going to see it pop up. We have a bunch of good videos. We're going to have them recommended. Click them if you haven't. And with that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day/night.